Hmm. Imagine this. You walk in for a job interview today. You are well dressed. Your CV is excellent. In fact, you answered every question confidently. But you're not given the job just because you have tribal mark. What will be your reaction? Be honest. Welcome back to the Omidan Mitade. And if this is your first time here, you are not just watching another YouTube channel. You have just entered a cultural archive where Africa tells our own story. Omidan Mitade lo call me, and I'm your actor. Yeah, we don't just remember culture, we understand it, we preserve it, and sometimes we question and rediscover it. So if you are passionate about African culture and heritage, my dear, don't forget to subscribe and join this growing family. Now let's get into the real gist. Do you know that there was a time in the Yoruba land where people were rejected for marriage because they don't have tribal marks? But today, many families refuse to give it to their children. Is it because it's outdated or what? Or is it her culture? Or is it us? Some people spend thousands of money to have surgery just to cover their tribal marks. Why some people hide it under makeup? And some people do say, if I had that choice, I won't let my parents give me tribal marks. So I ask, is tribal mark a blessing or a curse? But before we answer that question, let's go back in history. Let's go back to time. Let's go back to the past. Let's ask ourselves those. Okay, what's up? Why do you people give us tribal marks? Let's say over 200 years ago, before Nigeria was Nigeria, before BVN, before NIN, before passports, before phones, mobile phones, before social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, name it. Before all this, tribal mark was the identity. Tribal mark represent the family, hometown, your state, where you come from. Maybe you are from Ilesha, you are from Oyo, Ijebu, you are from Ife, wherever you came from. Tribal mark was that identity. Just imagine a mother traveling with her own son from Ijebu to Oyo. And maybe something happened along the line and the child got missing. How would they connect both the child and the mother together, if not for tribal mark? When there is no mobile phone, when there is no circulation, that okay, right now, nowadays, now, if a child gets missing, the next thing we do, we take the picture on social media, we post it on social, we start reposting, television circulates it, radio station spread it wide across that, okay, child is missing. All those things are not there. It's only Aroko we have. So tribal mark is an identity for us. It's not just an identity. It's our heritage. It's our birthright then that every family carries to identify themselves, to, to dedicate themselves as a Yoruba people. Tribal mark, for instance, the example I was trying to say. Now, a child got missing along the line. If the child that doesn't even know how to explain, doesn't know where it comes from, these tribal marks will make the people around the community say, okay, ilà ní ìjọ pélé Ìbàdàn, ó dà pọ̀ ọmọ Ìbàdàn ni yóò jẹ́. And they will take the child to Ibadan. And when they get to Ibadan, they will take the child straight to the baálẹ̀, ọkọ ìlú. Ọmọ yìí sọnù ní agbègbè Ìjẹ̀bú o. Àmọ́ pélé tá a rí lójú rẹ̀ ló jẹ́ ká wòye pé ọmọ Ìbàdàn ni. And they will bring the child to Ibadan. And from there, they will start investigating agboolé ibo ló ti wá, ta ni bàbá rẹ̀, ta ni ìyá rẹ̀. And from there, they reconnect the child and the mother together. So tribal mark is not just something that is out there. Yes, culture is not static. Culture is evolving. Bayesian law, Lanto. This time around, we now have social media, we have BVN, we have national identity card, we have a lot of things. Now our identity is inside our wallets. Before, our identity is on our faces. Growing up, we had different stories about tribal mark. Some people say it was for old people. Some people say it was barbaric. Some people say it's for us to prevent the children from witches and wizards. Some even says that it was source of pride. Some people say it was for medicine. Some people say it was spirituality. Some people say it's for war and trade. Some people say it was for domestic violence. And some people say it was for torturing. Now I ask, all these stories are even true? Were our ancestors really just decorating their faces, or there were stories that we do not even know or we will never imagine? But I think one of the biggest mistakes we are doing presently is that we are judging our story given the present day. We can't tell our story given the present day. We have to understand the reason behind everything. We can't use this present day to understand our story. Because this present day has technology. This present day is civilized. This present day has a lot of clarification. Then there were lots of mysteries behind what we do then. We can't use today's standard to judge our ancestors. Every tradition has a story. Every customs has its reason. Whether we like it or not, or we accept it with today's reasons or not. What we need to do is why do we have tribal marks? In fact, these tribal marks have different patterns. Unless you don't understand the Yoruba culture, that is when you won't really understand our patterns. For every towns, every families have different. Even some family does not do tribal marks. Hope you know, because culture evolves. Culture is not tactics, so it evolves, it moves. For every family that has tribal marks, some has tiny pele, some have one pele, some have abaja. It's different. Depend on the states they are, on the town they are from, and from the family they are from. Now, let me give you some specific reason why we do have tribal marks in the olden days. One, we have tribal marks because of spirituality. Apart from the identity that yes, we have tribal marks because of identity, so that we can know that okay, this person is from Oyo, this person is from Malaysia, this person is from Ife, Ijebu, and the likes. We also have it for spirituality. Some people call it for spirituality. Some people call it as spirituality therapy. Yeah, especially for the abikus. When they do rituals, when they consult the oracle Ifa, and they tell them to do some things, they put some incantation and put some pele on their eye, so that the child is not going to padà síbi tó ti ń bọ̀, especially for ẹni tó bá ti bímọ bíi 10, 9, 6, 7, 5. Tọmọdé yẹn padà tó ń padà, they want to find a way to dá padà sílé ayé, kó ṣàdó sókè pẹ̀mí láti inú ọmọ ta ti ń pè ní kò sọkọ́. Bọ́lá dúró jókòó Tadé, kó jókòó bí ìbáyé, má lọ bí kankan. You get my point? So it's used for spirituality, it's used for cleansing, it's used for purification. So tribal mark is not just for fun. Some people use it for beauty. Some family use it to elevate the beauty of their family. But yes, ọmọ wa ni, èmi lọmọ Jẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílé obì, just to show other family like ìlà bàbá tèmi, ìlà bàbá tèmi ju ti bàbá tìrẹ lọ. Yes, some people use it for that. Why some people use it for medicine? We have different type of way we cure our medicine, where we cure our illness in the olden days. Maybe awere ló ń bàjà. Èmi yẹn lè jẹ́ pé oríṣiríṣi kan bí wàrà or anything ló ń bàjà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ní láti ṣe àwọn ẹtu, and once they do all those ẹtu, they have to put the pele on the person's face, and put the L2 there so that area lè balẹ̀ kan tó ń ṣẹ̀yìn ò ní lè ṣe mọ́. Pele, tribal marks are also used for that aspect. Also, tribal marks are also used for war and trade. Nígbà tí òkò ẹrú dé, even before the coming intervention of the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, they were slave trade. They were slave trade happening. Kòkò tóbi púpọ̀ bí ìgbà tí transatlantic slave trade dé ni. They were slave trade. And they were giving the slave tribal marks, àmì so that they can know that, okay, àwọn ẹrú ìyá lóde bùtùjẹrẹ o, àwọn ẹrú bàbá ọlọ́jà gbéríárìgì nìyẹn o, to identify them that, okay, this is the slave of this person, these are the slaves of this person. And when the slave trade came into, the transatlantic slave trade came into, some masters, colonial masters majorly, were giving different slaves tribal marks at the back. They may write C on their back. They may write J on their back, just to identify that, okay, this is my slaves. Those are your slaves. So it's more than just, okay, to identify one town from one town. It was used for different reasons. Were tribal mark really a blessing or a curse? History is really black or white, and our ancestors were not just putting line on their face, they were preserving their culture and heritage. So I ask you, what do you think? Were tribal mark a blessing or a curse? And also, let me also ask you, if tribal mark is brought back to the present day, will you give it to your children? Will you put tribal mark on your children? And if you have it already, what has been your experience? Has this given you more pride, or it has brought you low self-esteem? Please, I would love to have your experience, and I want us to continue this conversation in the comment section. If you love this episode and you love this class, please don't forget to share, like, and comment. Also subscribe. Subscription is free. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Omidan Mitade, and follow us on Instagram at Omidan Mitade. Till I see you in the next class, what we're discussing about Oriki, which is a continuation of tribal mark, another way of identity in the Yoruba culture. Till then, I say Omidan Mitade ló kọ mi, and I am your atọ́kùn. Ire o, ó dìgbà kan náà.
The Omidan Mitade Heritage Institute. Moment with Omidan, the channel where African tell her own stories.